The month after I stopped seeing patients, I had income. Not a little. I had enough. And I want to tell you exactly where that came from because it wasn't just one thing. It was 5. And none of them happened by accident. Hey loves, I'm Dr. Simone Ellis, retired dentist, freedom strategist, and the founder of the Freedom Framework. And if you're just finding me, I want you to go back and watch video 1 and 2. The link is in the description below. This is the video that everyone asks me about. It's the tactical truth of month 1. Today, I'm gonna walk you through every stream of income I had the first month after I stopped seeing patients, where they came from, how long it took me to build it, and what I would do differently. I'm also gonna be honest about something that no one talks about because income was real, but so was the anxiety. So before I get to the tea and show you these 5 streams of income, I need to say this clearly. None of these were built in month 1. I know doctors, y'all like, oh my God, how do I get this? But this was not built in month 1. It was activated in month 1. I spent 12 to 18 months before the sale closed building each and every single one of these quietly in parallel while I was still seeing patients. And that distinction matters because if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh my God, I'll figure out the income after I sell, that is a total trap. And I don't want you to do that. The exit does not create income. The income already has to exist before the exit is possible. Selling your business is going to give you a foundation, but it doesn't give you a salary. Those are 2 completely different things, and confusing them is one of the most expensive mistakes I see doctors making after they're exiting. So y'all ready for my incomes? Okay. Income stream number 1 is the structured sale of the payout. So this was foundational, it's not income, and there is a difference. When I sold my practices, I structured a deal to include an earnout. So this is a portion of the sale that is paid over time rather than upfront. This created predictable cash flow in the months immediately after closing, which gave me that breathing room while I was trying to get these other streams ramped up. And I want to be honest, I eventually had enough income streams in those other ones that I'm going to talk about that I walked away from $300,000 on the table. So this negotiation strategy is actually that. It's a strategy. It's not an accident. So how you structure the sale determines on whether month 1 feels like survivable or is it just terrifying. Most dentists take whatever deal the buyer offers, and very few negotiate the time-based payouts that really help protect that transition period. So I want you to know what you're negotiating before you are sitting at the table and signing that practice away. My second stream was coaching and consulting clients. This one is still one that I do a lot of, and I absolutely enjoy this. But this one was a stream that I had been quietly building for 12 to about 18 months before I had sold. So I would start taking on like a small number of dentists who were struggling with the exact same problems I had already solved, whether it's overhead issues, delegation, or exit planning. And I didn't launch a coaching business. I just started saying yes to people asking me for help, and I just charged them for my time. But eventually what that did was that built that over time. And by the time I sold my practice, I can report I had 9 coaching clients at that time. And that was a big deal for me because the sale didn't create them, but the consistency had created these clients. So docs, you do not need a course or a website or a big brand before you start consulting your first client. You just need a problem that you solved and someone who has that problem. So don't overthink it. Start right there. It's really simple to do that. What's the problem the patient or the client has, and just solve it right there. But make sure you charge because you did the hard knocks and that's painful, right? My third stream of income was digital products. This was a system that I had built inside my practice framework through processes and tools, and I had packaged these into products that dentists could buy and implement without me needing to be in the room. And that took a lot longer to build than the consulting work because I had to tape the modules, I had to create the modules, but it created income that did not require my time. So that was fun because I remember waking up and like a dentist in another state could buy my product at like 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'd wake up with those payment notifications. That was really new to me. I started off with creating a case acceptance class. And after trading like 20 years of my time for money, that passive income, y'all, I ain't gonna lie, it almost felt too good to be true, and it definitely took me a long time to trust it. Your systems have value beyond your practice, and what you built to run your business can be sold to someone else trying to build theirs. So don't throw that away when you go and sell your business. I also had to make sure that with that, when I sold my business, I kept my own name and my naming rights because I didn't want anything that I built to be caught up in the sale. My fourth stream of income was brand partnerships. And that one was exciting because I had built a reputation, I had built a good name in my community and my profession long before I had even thought of myself as a creator. And when I started to show more consistently online, brands in the dental and the wellness space noticed. And so month one, I had a brand partnership with Colgate that paid me to speak to their audience about Colgate products. And I totally believed in them. So it wasn't no compromising or no performing. It was just credibility that I had built over the years of being recognized. That one I didn't fully plan out, but I also don't think I really stumbled into it because I had been building my voice consistently for long enough that when I was ready for the opportunity and it came, I could take advantage of it. Your reputation is a financial asset, and most doctors never monetize it because, y'all, we have been taught that that is beneath our profession. Trust me, it is not. It is so much leverage in that, so do not sleep on that. And one of my other favorites, my fifth stream of income, was speaking. This was the smallest income in month one, but it was the highest per hour return on anything that I did. I had been asked to speak at dental conferences and events while I was still practicing, and sometimes I had to say no because the practice came first and I couldn't just call off work for this fee. But after that sell, y'all, I finally could say yes. And one speaking engagement, a few hours of my time, a room full of dentists who needed to hear exactly what I had to say, sign me up for that. And the paycheck is nice. If you have expertise and you can communicate them well, speaking is an income stream that scales faster than most people think. But I definitely need to be real with you guys about something. Even with all of those 5 income streams in place and income actually coming in, and even like I had a plan, I had spent 18 months building it, there was still anxiety. I definitely had anxiety. It wasn't panic, and I definitely didn't regret the decision, but it was really anxiety. Because in the back of your mind, you're constantly thinking, is this real? Can I sustain this? Did I make the right call? And I think I struggled with that for about a year. And it was tough. My identity was shifting. Now I'm no longer Dr. Simone Ellis, the practice owner. I think that's important to say. Because if you are planning an exit and you imagine that once this plan is in place, the fear goes away, I just want to be real with you and tell you, it doesn't. What changes is that the fear is no longer having the power to stop you because you have proof. You have income coming in, you have systems that work without you. So you have to shift your mindset because the goal is not to eliminate the anxiety. The goal is to build enough infrastructure that anxiety does not get a vote and doesn't get to say anything when you decide to exit. Docs, first off, if you've watched all 3 videos, I have to thank you. And if you were sitting here thinking, okay, I actually need to start building this, here's where I want you to start. I've created the Stress and Leadership Scorecard. It is free and it is going to show you exactly where your leadership is misaligned in your practice right now and the gap between where you are and where you need to be before any of these income streams are even possible. Because if you don't have the leadership in place, it's going to be really difficult for you to do anything else. Just take 10 minutes out. The link is in the description. And if you are ready to go deeper and you actually want to build that freedom math formula, you want to build the CEO filter and that leverage shift inside your practice with support and accountability, I have the Freedom Framework Vault, and that's where all that work happens. Everything that I have taught across these 3 videos are built out fully with monthly live sessions with your girl and a community of doctors who are doing the exact same work. The link is in the description below, and that's where you can go next. I hope you found this to be valuable. I look forward to seeing you on our next video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.